Okay. All right. We're live. So today we are going to be doing something awesome. We're going to be refactoring some of the we're going to be refactoring some of the uh, um, thing that we did yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't know. I'm still waking up. I apologize. But I'm looking at my activity feed. Right. And it seems like, I don't know, maybe we're good. Okay. Yeah, okay. So then we're kind of just going to be refactoring and redoing all the things that we were doing yesterday. Hopefully that will make a more robust system and hopefully enable us to do something that is more of a production ready application. Yeah. Okay. I think that's a decent way of putting it, I guess. So let's go to our desktop, and really, so the first sort of thing I want to do is fix what we the errors that we had previously. So here I mistakenly had a if the process is valid, right? We return but like if it's not invalid, that doesn't make sense, right? I don't know. I'm gonna put a not there just to see, because that's what my notes say, and I'm gonna just go with my notes. And then these can't be pointers. So these can't be pointers. So the whole thing, I believe, is we can kill this, and then, right, so that's not going to be a pointer, meaning this is just going to be a pointer here, and whoopsie. And I think I made these pointers just to sort of, just to sort of like, muffle a warning, I think, is the best way of putting that. So that's fine. And then I'm going to actually get to that in a minute. And I think that's it. Right? Yeah. Okay, and then here, just to do a little debug, I kind of want to do this. We're gonna printf invalid, because I don't I made these notes after the stream 2 days ago, and I'm kind of looking back at it like, I don't know, is that the right logic? Because because we're saying if it's valid, if not invalid, you know what I mean? We're gonna return false, but something we are gonna do today will sort of make that a better way of error handling. Yeah. So I'm going to compile. That is something else. I was also playing around with threading. So that's, ooh, okay. What are our errors? We can ignore that, because that is, there's no real way around that. Object pointer to function pointer type. Yeah. That's correct. And an undefined reference to win main. Oh, because if we go to, whoops. If we go to, I guess, common, right? When I was playing around with pthreads, I did a different main. So I think I compile, right? Okay, and I think that should just work. I'm pretty sure that should just work. Forbids the object pointer to function pointer. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do, again, from the previous stream, is, of course, get my laptop. and copy everything over, and this should make my laptop sleep. If here, let's go to full screen and make sure this is in view. So I just have the command typed in, and there we go. So it makes my laptop sleep. So that works. Okay. Yeah. And, well, my laptop, it takes a while for it to actually sleep. So I will go back to that. But we have a way of doing that. So that's fine. So I want to kind of look at this, right? So if process invalid, because it returns as invalid process, and the macro we have for invalid process is an invalid handle value. So, I mean, yeah, and then a handle is a pointer, so we're kind of just comparing, I guess, memory? Right? So this works. This works as of right now. But I want to... Because this logic doesn't work is what I'm getting at, right? So current process, and then I guess what I want to do is... Here, let's turn the laptop on again. I guess what I want to do is go to process... I guess maybe I could just printf a process. Because, right, so what is an invalid handle process? Invalid handle is -1. Okay, that's interesting. Also, let's go to Zen mode. Just because it helps me focus on the code. I guess process %d, because it's a... Oh, no, well, it's a long pointer, so it would be LD. Yeah. Whoops. Let's do, I guess, process. And then compile. Void star. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I guess Control P, because we'll print the... Or, %P, because then we'll control the pointer. So I want this to fail. There you go. And then... Oh, I was not on full screen. Okay. Or I was on full screen. Okay, so let's just log back into the laptop. And I'm going to copy over everything I have. Probably could have stayed on full screen. Okay, and then I will, here, I'll put this up. I don't really need to go to full screen for this, but I'll put this up to the camera. And it doesn't really print anything, which is kind of concerning, right? So it doesn't really print anything, which is kind of concerning. But that's okay. I guess so then what I can do is do printf before, because I want to sort of debug my own library that I wrote. So that's fine. So we're gonna we're gonna copy everything over again to the laptop. This is great fucking exercise. Like, I'm just doing, hi Buzztronic, how you doing? I don't really like those laptops with the reflective display. Yeah, I know. It's, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, is it like visible in, like, is there a clear, like, distracting reflection? I don't know. But speaking of distracting reflections, so let's see what this kind of like prints out. Nothing. Okay, because it should either print out before or something along those lines. I'm not really sure, like, what's going wrong here. I mean, right, so the logic works. Right, I understand where the logic is. It's just I can't, like... It's not printing anything. I don't know. I think we just kind of ignore it because we have a working process. You know? Like, what I could do is kind of just not use the process library to begin with. Like, I could just say, like, oh, I have an invalid process, and leave it at that. So, like, here, this is what I could do. What I could do is if process, or if invalid process is equal to process, then we do that. Yeah, okay, so those are the same warnings, and then we can copy over again. Okay, so that's all copied. And then if I start the program again, it doesn't print anything. Okay. But it doesn't shut down either. Which is a bit disturbing, you know? Because process is just a type def for handle, so we're just kind of... Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like, so what I could do is just like, okay, so current process is I could just say if get current process is, and just not use the process library. I mean, like that, so I originally was using the process library to sort of aid in, like making this more sort of, what was I getting at? Aid in more sort of portability, and like so making this easier to like locate where I can split the library and make it say like a Linux implementation, a Mac, you know, etc. But yeah, I don't know, because like I think I'm just gonna try and like do everything as is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do handle process is equal to get current process, and I think just this is going to be process. There you go. And we're going to say invalid process is, right, so invalid process is what? Invalid handle value. Okay. So we can just do that. Invalid handle value. And that's going to compile. Awesome. And then we'll copy over to the laptop. Yeah, so the reason I'm using a laptop, if you missed it, is because we're working on a shutdown and sleep functionality in C. And so if I just run the program in C, or not run the program, if I run the program on this computer, which is the one I'm streaming from, it's going to end the stream. So that we can debug, I'm using my laptop. So, right, okay, so then we'll start the program, and it just doesn't print anything, but it doesn't shut down. Which is a problem. Okay. So, I mean, right, so do I even have to, like, check for oh, sorry. Oh, my chair's stuck on a wire. Help me, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh, okay. Small interruption. Right. So I guess we can. Do I have a Chrome tab open? I do not. So let's go here and then open up a Chrome tab, and we'll say current process Windows. There we go. Get current process. Sudo handle the current process, right? A sudo handle is a special constant handle. Is a special constant currently. Oh, okay. So. Oh, all right. So I didn't. Essentially, I didn't read the documentation correctly. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is saying that the current handle, or the current process, is by default an invalid handle. To why it wasn't printing anything, I have no idea. Maybe it printed something in a different process and I just didn't get it. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't believe. Yeah. I don't believe that I need to do any error handling on this then. Because the error handling itself logically was the problem. Okay, that's fine. So we just don't need to do any error handling. There we go. Okay. And back to the laptop. This is great fucking exercise. I think I just said that, but this is great exercise. Like, I'm bending down and, like, picking up, you know. So we're just copying over. And then we'll start on main. There we go. And just to see if this works. And my laptop sleeps. Awesome. Cool. All right. So we have a working application now. Great. So that's awesome. That's cool. So what I want to do is kind of like clean everything up here. So well, I don't know. Do I? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Okay. So let's do this. I'm gonna delete all the comments if they're not error checking comments like these. Oh, okay. So then another thing I want to do is, so the function is gonna return a Boolean here, right? So we're gonna do else if, and then call the function, of course. Or no, we'll say Boolean results. I think Booleans are trivially copyable in C, so I think I could just return the result. I think that's fine. But what we're going to be doing is result and then call the function. And if not result, all right, or no, and then I think I could just clean up the memory, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure a way out to clean up the memory, because this doesn't, because we load the function, which the library function, we need to close the library from library delete, right? Yeah. So if not library delete library. Whoops. Cannot type today. Return false. Else return results. And right? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So I think that's fine. So what I want to do to sort of improve this library is, instead of just returning booleans, I think I want to now return errors. If you remember, back in April, I believe, we did a stream where we essentially made error handling in C. We made a standardization of exceptions and error handling in C. And I think I want to bring over that library. And so what I've done is I've already opened the code where we essentially did that. And we're kind of just going to copy over. So I'm going to Control C, and it includes Control V. There we go. So instead of doing all these errors, I believe I just want to create an error state and then check on that, so that the return value and the sort of logging of the errors are more controlled instead of just exiting. You know, because we have allocations and we have processes happening, it is, I think, better to do to have more control over the error handling. And right, because like, okay, so if like here, like what we just did, library delete, right? We weren't doing that, right? So if this function fails, we just have a heap allocation that doesn't get freed. So I think that's like, we just implemented a way to do that, but now it just returns false. Like, we don't know what failed as well, you know? It just returns a Boolean. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, instead of everything a Boolean, right? I think I'm just going to make everything void. That returns a Boolean. I don't know. Okay, so here's what we have to do, right? Regardless of how we design this library, is define, is it error? Whoopsie. And I guess I should probably put this in the references. So I want to go to, do I have Chrome tab open? I do not. Okay, so let's go to Chrome. And let's go to the YouTube channel. If you wanna subscribe, we post there regularly. And so we have exceptions in C. God, I look like a fucking I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm wearing the same shirt that I'm wearing in this video. Interesting. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna put this the development of the exceptions library that we're doing that into the references. We'll say for the VOD to be uploaded. I was kind of slacking yesterday, but I think the VOD's going to be uploaded Monday. So we'll say, I guess, error or exception. Yeah, exception stream. There we go. Okay, that's fine. I haven't yet put this on GitHub, but I do have intentions of putting it on GitHub. So is it error implementation? Let's see. It is error implementation. Okay, that's fine. Error implementation. And include, I'm gonna say includes error.h. Awesome. So then I think, yeah, okay, so I think this can return void. So we're not going to return anything. And we're going to say, if not this, so we're going to check the error. Then, if I remember correctly, the way to do this is this, so I think the token is the base value. Well, no, it isn't. Because, right, so get token is called here, which we set the privileges, and we have allocations here. So I think this is just going to fail, right? So the way to sort of raise an error without exiting to control the error value is you do error raise, I believe. Yes, okay. And then an error name. What kind of names do we have? We have a whole enum of error names. So we have what is this doing? Getting a token. Okay. Oh, and then we can also do this. Right? Let's see. What do you think is best, chat? What do we think is best for this? Cause I guess it's like a runtime error, probably. Yeah, I think just like a runtime error would be fine. Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna do a runtime error, and then the message is going to be, I guess, just this: cannot obtain token of current process. Right. Do we need to have a new line? Let's see. Okay, so init with name, fair enough. Message. No. Okay, we do not need to have a new line. That's okay. Because in fail, which is what kind of everything uses, the private fail function, is just, it adds a new line. Okay. So we do not need to add a new line. That's fine. And does this take any other parameters? No, it does not. Okay. Error raise. And that'll return. So then this doesn't really fail. This can fail though. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna say if not lookup value, then did not mean to be in caps lock. There we go. If not fail, then we'll say error raise. We'll do a runtime error. I think that's fine. And we'll say, we'll just do cannot obtain privileges of the current process. Yeah, and then this will return void. And then, right, okay, so we don't need to check that, but this is going to be adjust privileges. This is also going to return void. Here, do we want to fail if we passed in a null token? I think we don't want to fail here. I think this is another error raise. Yeah, okay. So error raise. Do I have an illegal argument? Legal. No, I do not believe I do. Okay. So yeah, we'll just do a runtime error for right now. Or you know what? Actually, maybe a value error is probably better. Yeah. And we're not going to. We're not going to exit. Okay. All right. So then, get privileges. Fine. So then what we do with the new return values is if not error okay. This will just return the if the global state of the error is okay. I.e. there was no raised error. And we'll say let's see here. Okay. I got a text message on my phone, I apologize. So if not, okay, then we're going to, I believe, fail, right? Because fail, fail does not exit. Yeah. Okay. Here, no, I think here we can panic. Panic exits. Yeah. Okay, so stream is like a standard error. The name. Raise. Okay. Oh. Okay. So. I guess fail would probably be the best way of doing it. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't see like a better like cuz so panic is supposed to raise an error, set the global error state and then exit, whereas we already have the global error state. So I think just failing is what we want to do and then exit. Yeah. Okay. I think that's fine. To fail, right? Because get privilege windows, right? So look up privilege value. Let's go to Chrome. Look at that ugly face. Jesus Christ. Okay, what are we going to be doing? Fail, right? Okay. Oh, look up privilege value, right? Yeah, privilege value. Whoopsie. Why is that an autocorrect? Why is that an auto fill or whatever? Yeah. Okay, a pointer to a null terminated string. Function type is privilege. A pointer to a null specifies the name of the privilege as described in the window. Yeah, okay. The constant pointer to the value received by which the privilege is known on the system specified the LP system name parameter. The function returns, fails returns to get the extended error information. Okay. I don't think that this is really... I don't think this allocates anything. Right? As far as I know. So I think we're just good. Yeah. So maybe I can panic here. Right? Because adjust privileges. Where is adjust privileges used? To exit. Yeah. Because adjust privilege is called before any, like, so this allocates something, this allocates something. And it's just called before all of them. So I think adjust privileges, this can fail. So I think it's an error raise. I think we're just going to panic here. So we're going to say stood error. And that's just going to, that is going to fail. Open process token. I believe open process token does open process token. There we go. So this, I don't, does this allocate pointer to the handle identified to newly return value? To get a handle on elevated and non-elevated, both process must be started at the same account. Yeah. To close the access token handle, return through the token handle parameter called close handle. Okay. So the token handle parameter here is that is our token. So do we need to close the token? That is very interesting. I hit the wrong button, so I just reset the zoom. Let's see. So the token is stack allocated here, but then we get privileges here. And from what I read earlier, right, so if we go to look up privilege value, as far as I know, this doesn't allocate anything. So I don't know if I have to actually close the handle to the token. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah. So I think panicking here is okay. Right, so get privilege windows. We do not need to check the error state here because that'll just panic. Whereas set privileges, that doesn't raise an error, that just sets privileges. And then this returns void, so get token windows. Yeah. Oh, well, no, okay, so the token here is redundant anyway. Because it is, yeah, the token here is really redundant anyway. Because we have the set privileges function, right? We're not calling the token yet. Okay. All right, that's fine. So whether that allocates is redundant is what I'm talking about. So get token windows. Let's see, what did we just say this is going to do? So this is going to fail. Yeah. Okay, and I think this, so is this a crashing error? Do we want to exit or do we just want to return? I think just exiting is fine. So if not error okay, then we will, I think, just exit. Yeah, fail, standard error. And then exit with an exit code of 1. Or maybe just return. Yeah, just return. Right, do we want to return? Oh, and then I have to add a semicolon there. No, these two don't allocate anything really, and then get token does allocate. So do we have to close the token? But that's going to fail. So getting the token does not allocate, as far as I know, if that fails. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with that. And then just, yeah, so we can, I think, exit. Like, that is a crashing state if we can't get the token. And then, this is nice and neat for me. If not adjust token, then we are going to, I guess I can, well, no, yeah. I guess error raise? Do I want error raise? Yeah, error raise, which is going to be a runtime error. Just for now, maybe we'll go back and find the decent errors of that. Cannot adjust privileges of current process. Couldn't have said it better myself. And then we'll fail. To standard error. And I think I do have to close the token. So close handle token. Right, close handle, yeah, token. And then exit. And close handle, I don't think, yeah, I think it's just gonna close, yeah. And now I can delete this. And we don't need to return here. So then we can now just adjust the privileges. because that'll fail. You know what? No, actually, hold on. So we'll raise an error, close the handle, and then return. Yeah, okay. I might get a control flow error here when I compile, but that's okay. That is a-okay in my book. Right, so then we'll say this is going to be void, I think. We'll say adjust privileges, and we'll say if not error okay, fail, standard error, and exit. Whoops. And then if not, then we're going to panic here because this is a crashing state. Panic, standard error, and this is a value error, I believe. We'll just do a runtime error. A lot of runtime errors. Cannot exit. Just sweet and simple, just cannot exit. Which is a crashing state, and then we don't need to return. Okay. That's the easy bit. So let's just compile and see what kind of errors we have. Okay. So those are warnings. Great, cool. And then adjust privileges. Ah, yes. Okay. So just privileges. We're going to kind of copy this here. There we go. And then have another error, exit Windows. Oh, yeah. Okay, so system exit is void now. And we'll just do that. And of course, we have to change the public API. Whoops. And this is going to be void. Because we're doing error handling. We could do a, we could hypothetically do a bool return, but I think this is just better. I think this is just, yeah. And then I could also do this if I need to clean that up. Okay, so then when we compile, we still have, yes, okay. And then suspend state, and we'll say void. And we can get rid of the error handling here. Suspend state, void. Okay, so then we can do that. And we still have errors. Wow, okay. If not, load library return false. Okay. All right, here we go. So then now we have to do this, right? So okay, so load library, if that doesn't return anything. Load library I think just returns a boolean, right? Yeah. So here, let's close all of these. And let's just kind of focus here. So we have, if not load library, I think just a boolean is fine. Yeah. Okay. So then in load, so if that does not work, then we're gonna say panic. Standard error, yeah, because so if it just fails, right? The ways that these can fail is just if the library cannot be loaded. So it's null. We can't free a null pointer. So I think a crashing state is okay. Whereas then we do not panic. Value error? Yeah, I guess value error is probably fine. Cannot load library. Yeah, just cannot load library. I think that's fine. Okay. And then loading the function. That's another crashing state, so I think I want to do panic of standard error. And we'll say a, what does this say, value error? Cannot load function. Yeah. But then we want to free the library. So then if not library delete and library, right? Library delete, that takes a void pointer, and library is a void pointer up here. Great, cool. And then we're going to panic. Stood error. And that's a value error. Cannot free library. Yeah. Or I guess maybe like that's a fail. Yeah, that's a fail. And I don't think I'm gonna return. No, yeah, no, that's a panic. Yeah, that's a panic. Okay. Okay, whereas that function returns a Boolean, we kind of just want to do this again. Yeah. I think that works. I think that's fine. Of course, we have our little errors. Return result. Right, because this is a void function. And result is no longer used. Well, I guess what I could do is else if not results, then we could panic with a runtime error and function, or suspend state has returned false. And of course that needs to be printed to standard error. Okay. All right, that's fine. And now we just need to test it. Okay. So we've already compiled. And of course my laptop went to sleep, so I just gotta wake up my laptop. Is it update? I think it's updating. I don't know. I guess while I'm waiting, I can check the activity and the chat. How we all doing? We all doing? Everything good? Activity's fine? Awesome, 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 awesome. I do have the chat up on my phone. Okay. Pull the laptop up. Okay, and let's pull down our changes. That's fine. And then I guess the moment of truth. Let's go to full screen. And I'm looking here on my phone. All right, that should be good. All right. And this should make my laptop sleep. Awesome. Okay, and we didn't have anything printed, as far as I know. I gotta wait for it to wake up again, so that I can check if any error was printed. But as far as I know, it wasn't. So that's awesome. That is absolutely excellent. We have a working executable. We have a working state. Yeah. I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with this. Right, okay, so let's wake up the laptop. Alright. Oh. Okay, and it looks like there was no errors printed, so that is very good. That is excellent. That is what I want. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's... Oh, excuse me. Let's sort of clean this up a little bit. Right? Because, right, okay, so this is a very Windows application, as you can clearly tell. So let's see. So I think I'm going to rename common to core, because I think just like that is better. Core, you know what I mean? And in our like main function, we're going to say this is core. And we'll say anything to do with common. And we'll make sure this doesn't match the whole word, but matches the case. Is we're going to say core. Awesome. And then we can kill this and open up core again. Okay. But I have implementation for core here, right? Common. Okay, so I don't. Fair enough. There we go. Okay. All right. Awesome. So then I want to kind of do in commands. I want to finally get to commands.h, right? And what I want to do is essentially define core implementation. And we're going to include, whoops. We're going to include we're essentially just going to do what we did in common.c. So I think I can more or less copy this over. Yeah. Yeah. Whoopsie. There we go. All right. Having trouble with my keyboard. So this is fine. So commands, I think, is in commands.h. So we're going to do our include guards as per usual. If and def core that or commands. .h. And define. And down here. Awesome. Okay, that's... Oh, I am in full screen. Oh, wow. Okay. Lovely. Yeah, I gotta start, like, checking on that shit. Like, I didn't realize I was in full screen for a good long while. Normally I am on top of it, but... Yeah. Okay, so we just did our include guards here, and we just copied over everything. So we want to finally use the commands file. I already said this, but yeah. I don't need path, really. I could kill this. Main I can really kill. I think what I want to do is call system sleep. I think, yeah, that's going to be our API, I guess, right? Oh, no, I do not want to set a breakpoint. Yeah. And I think we're going to do void system sleep, and that's going to be void as well. And that's going to be that. And of course, this is in the parent folder. And then void system shut down. Gonna be void as well. And then void system reboot. And system hibernate. And that's going to be our API, I believe. And then I can kind of copy these. Do not want to do that. Yeah, okay. And then what we have in the original, is in here somewhere. To shut down, we just use exit Windows. Oh boy. Right, so suspend state. Right, but we have exit, right? Let's go back here. Right? And I also want to do like include tracing, which is something I like to do. Yes, okay, so we have system exit. Okay, so that's fine. So to shut down, we're going to do system exit and unsigned flag, which is system exit EWX shutdown. Oh, I see. I guess so, right, so shutdown, I think I'm going to have to do if def win32. Yeah. Yeah, because EWX shutdown. Right? Or I think within system shutdown, I think is where we're going to do that. Yeah. There we go. And we'll say else error system, whoopsie. System shutdown is only supported on Windows. I don't know, maybe next stream we'll port this to like different operating systems. I do have plans to do that eventually, but I don't know. And then system reboot. So in the original code, that's not the keystroke I want to do. It is just the same, but Windows reboot. Okay. EWX reboot. So I can just copy this kind of. Yeah. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Reboot. EWX reboot. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then system hibernate. I believe it's just the same as system sleep. But instead, hibernate is true. We passed the true flag here, right? Yeah. Okay. And then what I kind of want to do is make the command binaries. So I think I am going to kill the go here. And of course test. I can delete. That's from when I was playing around with pthreads. And what I can do in command is make, I guess, sleep. Right? Sleep.c. Or I guess system sleep.c. And we're going to define commands implementation. Yes, I did spell it right. And then include includes commands.h. And we'll just make like a binary just so that we have like binaries. And I want to modify the build script again just so that we have like binaries. Return 0, of course. And then system sleep. Okay, and then we'll do system shutdown. Which is very similar to this. System shutdown. And I think that's it. Okay, so let's modify our build script. So, our build script, we don't need linker flags as of right now. We don't need tags. This is from a actually this is from the password manager that we were making on stream for a while. Like there's a lot of like Go specific things in here, you know. So I can kill that. Or no, actually the compiler is GCC because we're adding, you know, new compilers. Target folder command bin compile. Name. Okay, so that's the name. Right. Okay, so then build. We don't want to just build. We want to. I guess I'll make a new function void add warnings. I guess it'll take a command pointer to command and say command append space W, oops, W all and W extra, of course, command. Excuse me. Or I guess add warnings. Command. And then what I want to do is say, because this is compiling, right? So then void add standard. Whoops. Command append command standard is C17, and we're going to be pedantic about it. And instead of adding release tags, we're just going to say all optimizations are on. Right. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is going to be if release, the release flag that we pass in. Do we? Yep, we have a release flag. Okay, release EASE. Add warnings. Yeah. Okay. And then add standard command. And then, right, okay, so I think we're going to say for right, because I have to get files, essentially. Yeah, but this is just how to build one executable. So I think that's fine. All right. So add tags. Add linker flags. I don't need linker flags. And then we kind of want to hold off on this, right? So .c. Yeah. Build command. Okay. So then I want to get rid of this flag. And so the target name. So we want to get, I guess files, add files, root, right, path, root, or I guess get files. Yeah. So that will be, do we not have like files? We do not. Define files implementation. Include kata collections, not changelogs. Or lib, yeah, lib. C collections files. So we want to get the files that we loop over here, right? And I should have a path, should I not? As undefined. Okay. Well, then we're gonna say define path implementation include kata lib c path. Awesome. Or I don't know, maybe root should just be a char pointer. And maybe we don't need a path right now. Or not files, not files. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's fine. And then, right, so files type results is equal to, my nose is really itchy today. I don't know what it is. Files init, and we're gonna pass in our root. And what does this return? Okay. So this isn't a pointer. Fair enough. And then we'll say return result. If not files fill files, then printf std error cannot, I guess this is a value error. Cannot fill files at the root. I'm gonna exit. And then we need to do files, delete. Files. Oh, this is result, okay. So then, if we fill the files here, who's to say that we don't have if we fill the files here, who's to say that we don't have to free it elsewhere? Right? Am I just bullshitting at this point? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So then what I'm going to do is fill the files. Files to files. Or get... Yeah, files just equal to get files. And the root is going to be the command folder. And then we'll say, we'll make a new function, void build files, sure, which takes in a files view command, I guess, right? Should I just do a command view? Or no, because I have to append to the command. So I can't take a view. Right? And then I guess compiler target folder. Yeah, and then release. Okay. Which will probably just be this. These arguments here. Okay, and then compiler, yeah. Target folder, good. Target name, we don't actually need. And I'll show you why in a minute. As well as command folder, we don't actually need. Okay. So then we have, let's see. So for, I guess size t I 0, I'm gonna loop over our files. I is less than files size plus I. We're gonna get our path, raw path is files at, oh, that's a double pointer, okay. Because it returns a mutable pointer to the files. Oh, we don't need the address. Yeah, okay. Files I, and we'll say path t path, which is, okay, so maybe I do need a path. There you go. Actually, what I want to do is kind of print the files for now. Raw, there you go. raw path, and we're going to do that, and we're going to say build UILD files, and that's our files. That is our command. Oh shit. Okay, so then we need command, and we need a compiler. And we need, okay, so this is compile, not command. And we need a target folder, which is the target folder. And we need release. And we're just going to return 0 after that. Whoops. And I believe we're going to do bin build.exe or bin compile, right? Yeah, we can do bin build here, because then we just build everything. Files at, oh, okay, so that's, so is that whining about const? I think it's whining about const. It is, okay. Okay. So we have CMD, system shutdown, and system, okay. That's fine. All right, so now we know what we have. We can go to, let's see, all right. Know what we have. I guess I can build command then? Right? Because I think just the path will do it, yeah. So that's, yeah, %s, that'll just be the path. So we do not need the command folder or the, well, no, we do. No, we don't. We don't need the command folder or the target name. We just need the, I guess, path, right? Yeah. We still need the target name, but we don't need the command folder. So that's path. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. And then, so, all right, so we just have the path. Right? Let's see. So we have each of the files. Okay, so how do we do it in... Right? Hold on a second. Yeah, so how do we do it in build? When we're building everything in the build folder. We essentially do this monstrosity. Yeah, that works, I guess. Right? Because right, so the file name string. What is this doing? So it's getting the parent. It's comparing the parent to the root. I don't need to compare the parent to the root. That's redundant. I just need to get the file name and parent. That's all I really need to do. Yeah. Because that's, so we compiler target folder. Yeah, compiler target folder, target name, and path. Does that make sense? Believe it does. I believe that actually does make sense. This is so that we can compile all the binaries in our command folder. This is what we're doing. Let's see. So path is I don't know. Maybe I can go back to passing in the command folder, right, or the file name, right? Because we're not compiling anything else. Yeah. And then so const char command folder. Command folder and target name. Target name. Yeah. Also, I don't know why this is a program. We're just running one command. Whatever. I kind of built this weirdly when I initially did that. So we'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so I just need to I do need to make this a path. Which is equal to path from the raw path. And then we're gonna say path t file name, which is the path. And this doesn't modify the path, correct? Yes, that's const. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we'll say path, or no, actually, this is, yeah, path parent equal to path get parent. And that is our path. Awesome. So then we can do build command. Oh, that's why it's a program. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So then I want to do program, not command. We want to say program. Right? And then we want to do command. So for each of the files, we want to create a new command. Okay, so command that is equal to I guess compile, right? Or command init. Does this return a pointer? It does not. Okay. And we're gonna say build command. This takes in a command, compiler. Takes in a target folder, and the target name, which is the string of the file name, and the command folder, which I believe is the parent. Yeah. Parent. And release. Whoops, not realloc. Release. Whoopsie. Build command and then program append. Program command. Yeah. Which is probably bad, well, I don't know, they're heap allocated, so I'm not entirely sure. Right, so we no longer need a compile command, necessarily, and we no longer need that, we just need a program. And I don't need to do that. But what I do need to do is program delete. which I don't believe I was doing. So that leaked memory every time I run that. Great, cool. I'm gonna go and fix that when I finally look at this after the stream. And then command data. Do I have like program data? No, I do not. Okay. So I think I could get rid of the buffer at this point. Yeah. There we go. Cannot run program. And we're not going to format any arguments. Okay. I think that's going to work. And I can kind of do this asynchronously too, because one does not wait on the other. Yeah. Okay. I think that's fine. So we're going to say, now we're going to get a process array. Processes. Excuse me. Which is program run asynchronous. And that's going to take our program. And then if not process array wait our processes, then that's going to happen. Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's build everything. Yeah, no, these are fine. Cannot run in build. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. We're just getting warnings, but... Right, so bin compile release. Yeah, it runs. Right, and then if we go to shut down and sleep. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna kill all of these, right? And I don't think I'm going to run anything, so I want to remove all of that, and we're gonna go to, I guess, build, and we're just not gonna run anything. We're just gonna compile. Where do we add running? Here, right? Yeah. So let's see, what kind of errors do we have? This, and this. Okay. And then, of course, I need to recompile build. Open build. Builds. Build. Is that correct? I believe so. Okay. And let's look at our... yeah, I believe that's correct. These are just format warnings, which are fine. And, right, so then we'll build. And that's it. Right? Yeah. And then I also want to... Right? Or no, I want to, like, run everything, right? We want to compile and then run everything. Okay. It compiled. That's fine with me. I just want to kind of compile everything. And then we'll do bin, compile, release. And we got running that. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. And we get all the same errors that we were getting beforehand. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then if not released, then we add the warnings, right? So then we'll compile again. Why are we still getting warnings? Oh, because of the standard. Okay, so these are ISO standards. Okay, that's fine. All right. And then we can, of course, do... we can, of course, copy it over to the laptop again. Oh, my chair got caught on the wires. Okay. So let's copy everything over. I think my chair's sinking. I'm just gonna fix that real quick. It's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just vertigo on my... yeah. And I need to then go to bin. And we're gonna start system... What did we call it here? We called it system sleep. Okay, and then I'll go to full screen so that everyone can see. And I believe this is gonna make my laptop sleep if I did everything correctly. And it does. Awesome. Which, if sleep works correctly, then shutdown works correctly, because shutdown is even less complex than sleep. So, in my eyes, that is a working executable. So what I can do is just add more. So we could do system reboot and system hibernate. .c. There you go. And so in the original, hibernate is just oh, well, yeah, okay, so we can just more or less do shutdown for reboot, and we could just copy and paste and system reboot. Awesome. And then system hibernate. There you go. And then, right, if we kill all of these, we just have our build script. We build everything. We compile. Everything's built. What a lovely system we have created. Now, right, so the whole sort of thing, we can make this become full circle. We can have this come full circle. What we can kind of do now is kill everything in source. We can delete this source folder, because we're done with that. We can delete, I believe, everything in here, aside from the go mod and go sum. And, of course, the metatoml and the readme. That's fine. What is in the readme? Oh, this is from the original... This is... Yeah, okay, so this is from the original... What is it? The original repository. I couldn't think of the word fucking repository. I'm still in full screen, aren't I? Yep. Okay. So... we essentially have can compile all of our binaries, and we just deleted source and kind of just everything from the Go executable. Now, what I can do now is I can add, say, a main.go file, right? And we'll say package main. And this will be an executable, because what I'm going to do is import C, and we're going to make this a CGO executable. And we're going to say that this is we're going to essentially include, right? Or actually what I can do, whoops, that's OBS. What I can do is I can kind of create DLLs and load the DLLs at runtime. From the commands that we have here, right? Nah, you know what? That's little, yeah. I don't feel like doing that right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, yeah, define. Okay. So we're essentially gonna do. Oh, I have an idea. In includes, what I'm gonna do, right? No, because it's just commands, yeah. Okay, define commands. Whoopsie. Come on, fucking caps lock. Commands implementation. Include. Includes. Or no, actually, this root of the repository, so we could just say includes. Commands .h, and we'll regenerate main, and we'll say oh, let me turn on my laptop just so that we can make sure that everything is good and golden. What I can do is say that, and then we're just gonna do C dot sleep, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, system sleep. Yep. Okay. And that's it. That is essentially it. You know, I mean, right, so I could do multi-threading, but I think we've gone on for about an hour and a half. Kind of straight through. So I either want to take a break and do multi-threading or just not, which is the route I'm going. But yeah, like, so what I can do is just do go build main.ex, right? Main.go? Yeah, main.go, because we're just gonna, yeah. And this'll of course work. I'm pretty sure. Just in case, we're actually going to LD flags, because we're on Windows and Windows is a shit system. SW. Windows is a shit system. Sometimes you gotta create a static executable, which is what those linker flags do, the LD flags. So I think we are going to copy this over again. And when we last ran this, there was no output, which is good. And then, so we're going to just run that main executable. Let's go to full screen again. All right, and we're just going to run that main go executable that we just created. Start. Actually, no, this is in my command history, so we can just do that. Start main, making sure that I'm on. Everyone can see this, and we're going to hit enter, and it made my laptop sleep, which is exactly the behavior we are looking for. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This has been a wonderful time of year. I believe I'm just going to kind of end it here. I don't know, right? If you're on YouTube, leave it in the comments, or on Twitch chat. How about are we thinking multi-threading? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Right, so let's go back to the desktop. In terms of multi-threading, the only way we would kind of get a boost in terms of performance would really be the loading of the DLL for sleeping and hibernating, as well as I can kind of just do adjust privileges and put that in a put that in a thread. That's really the so Chad, are we thinking multi-threading? Do we want to do multi-threading? I don't know. Yeah. You know what? Nah, I don't think we're gonna do multi-threading. I think we're just gonna end stream here. Thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for watching. Let's go. I like to learn at Satrack. Ah. All right. Is that for multi-threading? Do you want to? Are we doing Satrack? Is that for? Yeah. All right. You know what? Fine. I've been convinced to do multi-threading. So, should I do it next stream? I don't know. Yeah, maybe I want to give you guys like a teaser, like, hey, come back to the stream if you want to see multi-threading. You know, leave a follow. Yeah, for next time. Okay. I'll follow. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, like fucking a teaser, like next time on Dragon Ball Z. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. Yeah. I don't know. I think we'll do it next time. We'll leave a little carrot in front of the audience and say like we'll do multi-threading next time. You know, at least I'll have a purview for the next stream instead of just blindly going where no man has gone before. Satrack, yeah, so I just saw the followers going, so I think that was you, I'm pretty sure. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Yeah, it is. Okay, so yeah, so I think we're gonna end the stream here. Next stream is going to be on Monday, and that's where we're gonna implement threads. I don't stream on weekends. If you don't know, I don't stream on weekends. Trying to leave that open for my just personal life. You know, I like to. It helps with burnout. You know, not streaming like every day. So I do weekdays. So yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. If you want to check out the VODs, it's always in the channel links. This VOD will probably be uploaded next Tuesday, if I get my ass in gear. And for those on YouTube, of course, check out the Twitch. Yeah. So, yeah, just thanks everybody for watching. Stay safe. Peace.